I'm at the Maxwell store in South Chelmsford with the owner, Lisa Bougoulas, and she's also the coordinator of the farmers markets here. What, is it 10 years now, Lisa, you've been doing that?
Season ending up today. This is the last day of it.
On February 29, 2020, right?
Yep.
Your last, I can't believe it, your last market for the season.
Right, it flew by. 18 weeks. That's
18 weeks it's been, wow.
Yeah.
And you know, I think you've had the biggest turnout ever, right, Lisa?
Right, it's growing every year. Every year it gets bigger.
So how have been things this year? You have new vendors, same vendors, some coming back?
Some of both, yeah. I have a lot of vendors that come back every year, like Jones Farm and Seafood Express, and of course Empanada Dada. Everybody loves the empanadas.
Nice.
And then a few new vendors. I had crepe du jour. They were delicious. And
Oh yeah, the crepes.
right. So a few. I always do that. I mix it up, and it's
Nice.
kind of different every week. I have a few main vendors. Purple Carrot. Everyone wants their bread. OMG Bagels. They want their bagels, fish and seafood produce. And then the other vendors, I kind of mix it up a little. So if you come every week, you're going to see different vendors.
And the hours when you are open for the market is 10 to 2, right?
Right.
10 to 2. And the reason I thought of that is because last week at the bagels, they were sold out by 11:30 a.m., right?
Right.
That's how busy it was. I think this has been the busiest season for you, I think, right, Lisa?
Oh, it
so
definitely has, yeah. Every
it's
year.
been fantastic.
A little bigger.
And you and your husband have owned this store for what, 10 years or
10
more?
years now.
10 years,
10 years
wow.
now, yeah.
And how do you like it, Lisa, so far, owning
I love
it?
And I love the community. Everyone
Oh,
in Chelmsford's been so wonderful and welcoming, and it's great, especially you, Tom. You always promote our store. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure, Lisa. I always love to help our small businesses.
You do.
And one thing I'd like to see changed is that tax classification, because last year the taxes went up for our businesses
Oh, quite a
because
bit.
they aren't equal to residents anymore. And it was a big increase for the local small businesses
Very
like you,
big.
right?
Right. I mean, maybe big businesses could handle it, but small ones like us to go up over 3,000 in 1 year, that's a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I mentioned that because hopefully the selectmen could listen to this and change their vote this coming December and vote to reduce that classification again. They reduced it a little bit last
bit.
December,
Right.
but now they have to do that for 4 more years, and
That
then
would
we'll
be
be
great.
back even again.
Yeah, I'd like that.
And so anything else, Lisa, before we go? I guess
No,
your next market begins next November?
Right. So in the meantime, come shopping here for your lawn, garden, pet, wild bird seed, you name it, mulch. We deliver mulch, you name it. So come back and visit us.
Great. At Maxwells, a former Agway,
Right.
right next to the bike path in South Chelmsford, right? Off Maple Road. Is it Maple Road?
Right across from the Byam Elementary School.
Beautiful. Well, thank you very much, Lisa. You do a fabulous job with these markets every year and with your Maxwell store.
Thank you, Tom.
Well, I'm here at the Boy Scout fundraiser on February 29th, 2019, with the organizer of this pancake breakfast. Hi, could you tell us your name and what this breakfast is all about, please?
My name's Will Dorman. I'm part of Troop 75. I'm running the breakfast here. We've been starting this for Sea Base. Sea Base is we're going to go this summer, and like 20 people are going to go for it's one of our super high adventures. We do it every couple of years, and we need to raise funds for it because it's really expensive. But we're going to St. Thomas and the U.S. Virgin Islands. It's amazing because it's a one-in-a-lifetime experience. We get to sail boats, explore some of the islands, and overall it's a lot of fun, and it requires a lot of preparation. So over here we have coffee, we have some food, we have pancakes, sausages, tater tots, everything. We have a lot of drinks, we have toppings galore. It really took a lot of planning to do this. We've been working on this for a month or two.
Wow, yes. And could I ask why you organized it? Are you a scout leader here? Are you one of the leaders of the troop?
I'm kind of sort of part of this. I'm not part of technically the senior leadership for the Scouts.
Yeah.
Because our troop is one of the best Ouellette troops in our district, I believe.
And how many members in your troop? About.
We're very close to 75.
Really?
For Scout-wise, we're around I'd say 50. Adding the adults, close to 75.
Wonderful. And so if people want to come and check out your troop, when do you meet here at the Central Congregational Church?
If they want to, we don't meet here. We
okay.
we use this because it will be easier for us. However, we actually do meet at Trinity Lutheran Church on Mondays from 8 to about 7 to 8:30.
Wonderful. Trinity Lutheran Church on Mondays. And if anybody wants to know, they could contact the Troop 75. They could probably find you on Facebook and everything.
We also have a website on troop75ma.org.
Troop75.ma, no, ma.org. Troop75, is it .ma.org? Oh, that's okay. But they'll find
if
it.
you just look up Troop 75 Chelmsford, you'll bring you and click on it. It brings you right to the page.
Wonderful.
So there we have a slideshow. You can check us out. There's just the scouts have sign in. We have the roster, everything about us, so you can all learn about us. And if you're interested, if you're in Cub Scouts, you're a Weeblo, and you're interested in coming over, our troop's great. We have a lot of people. We're friendly, and we do a lot of fun stuff.
Wonderful. Well, I've been a Boy Scout and an Explorer Scout and a Cub Scout for many years when I was young, so I appreciate how wonderful the organization is. Thank you very much for talking with us today.
You're welcome.
So I'm here at the 20th anniversary celebration of the renovation and redevelopment, you might say, of the Chelmsford Library with Madeleine Needles. Hi, Madeleine.
Hi there.
And Madeleine is in charge of the membership drive of the Friends of the Library right now. How's that going, Madeleine?
Well, we're working hard. We had a goal since this was the 20th anniversary, we thought we would try and get 2,020 members in 2020. So we've been working on it since September, and we do have significantly more members than we had before, but we're nowhere near the 2020. So we're trying to encourage people to join the Friends of the Library. 100% of the dues from membership goes to the library, 100%. And so, for instance, the library doesn't have funding for museum passes. So if you use museum passes, that money comes from the Friends of the Library. In addition, of course, we have our used book sale. And this year, just a couple of weeks ago, we voted to give $40,000 to the library to cover various things that they need in the next year, some new items, replacing items. We've funded equipment, have funded sound systems and sound system upgrades. We
computers, I guess, in the past.
Right, computers at various times, and we've donated to the new pop-up mobile book truck. I think
something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, nice.
And we also donated to help with the development of the Scaboria Parkway outside. But of course, we're celebrating the 20th anniversary of the new building, and one of the things that the Friends of the Library did historically is we donated funds every year to the account the library was building up to help fund the new library. So the Friends of the Library were always a strong supporter of wanting to have a new library, and so through the years we have literally donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to the library.
And you've been a member of the Friends of the Library for how long, Madeleine?
Well, since the 90s.
Since the 90s, wow.
90s, I came on as the secretary.
So almost 30 years now, I bet.
Yeah,
Do you have any idea how old the organization is of the Friends?
It's pretty old. I know that they've been having book sales since probably the 60s, the late 50s. They were very small at the time. But I think the Friends were here before that. So it would be interesting to go back historically and find out when the first meeting of the Friends of the Library was.
Yeah, and so the Friends, the big thing you do is the book sales every year. Now you kind of break it into two parts, plus you have the cart here at the library.
That's right.
Which raises about $4,000 or more a year just from the cart.
Yeah.
So when you stop in the library, check out the cart over there near the checkout desk, and you could buy books and DVDs, CDs, everything there.
Right, and especially one of the interesting things about that card is if it's a holiday, Betty May and Mary, who are the two ladies who mainly take care of that, they'll put special holiday books out. So if you're looking for something during the holidays, during Halloween or before Thanksgiving or something like that, those will be out there. And we do have a book sale coming up at the end of April. and it will just be, it'll be your summer reading book sale.
Summer reading, yeah.
It will be fiction and children's and young adult and paperbacks, no nonfiction.
I see.
But it's all to buy your books for reading for the summer.
And it's going to be at the town office gym again?
Town office gym again. That's
Wonderful.
Right.
Well, thank you so much, Madeleine, for all that you do.
Well, and thank you, Tom, for all of your help that you do for all over town.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you so much, Madeleine Needles. Thank you. So I'm here at the Chelmsford Library 20th anniversary celebration with Maureen Foley, who is the co-president of the Chelmsford Friends of the Library, right, Maureen?
That's right.
And who's the other co-president?
Kathy Cryan Hicks.
A former employee of the
20 years ago, both of us were working for the library.
Wow.
And now, when we retired, we both decided to pay back. The Friends of the Library gave us the money to run all our programs while we were in charge of, I was in charge of children's, Kathy was in charge of adult programming. The Friends of the Library provided all that money. So we retired and we wanted to join the Friends in order to support them and raise money going forward. And the next thing you know, we found ourselves co-president.
How long has that been now? It's been, what, at least a couple of years that you've been co-president?
Yeah, under 3. When we became co-presidents, that was right after Pat Rojas. She was the president before us. Yes.
And so what do you think about the renovated library for the past 20 years?
Well, when I first was hired here, I worked in the children's house right next door. And it wasn't handicapped accessible, and that caused some problems. And it was also a small collection. So moving into this wonderful addition, the room that we had, the services we can offer, the dedicated meeting room where I offered so many programs. We are so grateful to this community for building this that's become really the heart of our town.
Yes.
It's so, I don't know, I think we have the biggest circulation in books of any of the surrounding towns. It's really overwhelming support. I want to thank everyone for that. I want to thank everyone who's a member of the Friends. I want to thank everyone who donates books and who buys books. That's how we get all the money we get to support the library.
Could I ask how many members of the Friends do we have now?
Well, I'm trying to add that all up. Today we're going to have a raffle. The raffle is going to be approximately 720 numbers will be picked. And some of those numbers are family memberships. I still don't know if we've got 2,000 when we add it all up.
Wow.
But, families and lifetime and individuals, all of those are like 720 something.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
wow.
One of them is going to win a prize today.
And thank you for being a co-president along with Kathy. It's a hard job. I mean, a lot of time is involved.
Yeah.
But you're doing a great job helping with the publicity on the Chelmsford News and elsewhere.
Yeah. I appreciate all the bump in publicity you give us.
Yeah,
Tom.
well, I give a lot, as you may know, about your movie. You have nice free movies sometimes on Saturdays, all kinds of free events.
Yeah, the staff here is absolutely fantastic.
It's amazing, yeah. And when you worked here, Maureen, how many years did you work here?
19.
19 years?
Yeah.
And what department were you in, Maureen?
Well, I was hired for children's, part-time, children's in the front desk.
Oh.
I worked for 3.5 years at the branch, McKay, when that was open full-time. And then I came down here. My last 15 years were head of the children's department at the main library.
Head of the children's department. Wonderful. Wow. And what do you think about this big cake in back of you? Look at that.
Isn't that delightful?
Look at this. Amazing.
I know.
It's not something you could eat. It's made out of wood, right, Maureen, or something?
Yeah.
It's
But
beautiful, though.
We do have cake you can eat.
Yeah, we have cake inside there, and then you have the nice sign here.
Right.
Happy birthday, Chelmsford
And
Library.
there's one more thing, actually. As people come today, they might want to write a few words.
Oh, yes.
There's a birthday card, and there's also, we have a place for collecting memories and what are your favorite things to remember about the library.
Oh, wonderful.
So all those ways to
Well,
enjoy it.
Thank you so much, Maureen, for talking with us and for being the co-president of the Friends of the Library along with Kathy.
I know
and all.
Kathy's out of town, or she would have
Oh,
been here for sure.
well, thank you for everything you do, Maureen. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Tom.
Well, I'm here at the Chelmsford Library, at the beginning of the 20th anniversary celebration of the renovation of the Chelmsford Library, which we did 20 years ago, and the new addition. Right now, I think I'm in the new edition of library with a library trustee, Maggie Marshall, who has been a trustee all 20 years, right, Maggie? Oh my God. And Marty Michaud was the president of the Friends of the Library 20 years ago.
Right.
So maybe they could both tell us all about the celebration today and what do you think
Take a picture of the cake
about,
so they can cut it.
about the library. Yes, we'll take a picture. So Maggie, why don't we start with you? What you think about the renovation and the library and everything?
Well, my memories actually go 60 years back, but I won't start.
Really? Oh my God.
For sure. But one of the biggest, we had outgrown our physical space.
Yeah.
As we had talked about previously, the building was not handicapped accessible, and
Yeah.
we had children's services and administration in a whole separate building.
Yeah.
I was a parent of young children at the time, and you couldn't just, it was either go to the children's room or come to the main library. It was a
Yes.
cumbersome process.
Yes.
So, having outgrown the space and the need for handicapped accessibility and having everybody once again in the same space was the driving force.
Yes.
And on my way over here, I was thinking, I think we tried and failed 4 times to get the addition funded at town meeting and failed. And then town manager Bernie Lynch said, let me drive this project. And he pushed it, we scaled it back in terms of costs, and we got the beautiful building that we have today.
Which is wonderful. I mean, maybe I'll take a video of it later, but probably everybody watching this show has seen and been at the library, but it's a beautiful job. And you were the Friends of the President of the Friends of the Library, right?
I was the president of the Friends of the Library.
So what do you think about the new addition?
Oh, I think it's wonderful. And at the time, I was working at the Bill Rickle Public Library, which is also celebrating the 20th anniversary of their move and renovation in this spring. So I was going between the 2 libraries and working on the renovations of both. But I remember stuffing envelopes and putting signs on lawns and standing in the center. I don't do that. Standing in the center of town with a sign to vote for the library and improving the library, and it's wonderful. It's just been wonderful.
This is
since
Catherine Fisher, who was on
Yes.
the board at the same time.
I thought so. Hi, Kathleen. Hi. I recognized you. Yes, thank you. My pleasure. And who made this beautiful cake here?
We actually bought it on Craigslist.
Really?
Yes.
Are you serious? That is beautiful.
Yes, wooden. So,
That's fantastic. We could save it for all celebrations,
yeah,
right?
for sure.
In town.
we bought it on Craigslist or some free cycle or something like that. Dressed it up and it's ready to go.
It is beautiful. And today, I'll pan over here into the, I forgot the name of the room here, a McCarthy meeting room. And that's where the party will be today from 1 to 3 p.m. And this is February 29th, 2009. Leap Day, yes. Yes. Well, is there anything else you'd like to add before we go? It's been a great 20 years.
Very grateful for the continued support of the town. The town and its people have been very gracious to continue to support the library well.
Yes, they do. Thank you. Thank God for that.
Comments also? Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I would just say the same thing. I mean, it's a wonderful library. It is a very busy library, and I think because it's been so well designed and renovated, and the library is just doing so many things now. It's just wonderful. So if you haven't used it, come.
Come, and there's so many events here.
Yes, it's
free
wonderful.
movies and
Speakers,
free
movies,
all kinds of activities and everything. And Kathleen, were you going to say something?
I'd just like to say that I think the library has definitely fulfilled the promise that we wanted it to have when we put such a great effort into this building to think about the future. We always expected that we wanted the library to be not only a lifelong learning center, but a community center.
Yes.
And that is all the more important in the society that we live in today. We're
Yes.
so happy to see the generations continue to come and promote and to learn and grow and experience and network with each other. And we just praise the staff to continue that role for us, the community to continue that role for us. And we look forward to being able to have time still left in our lives to see where it goes next.
Which is wonderful. Hopefully we'll have another 100 years in this library. And thank you all for all the work that you do with the Chelmsford Library, the Board of Trustees, the Friends of the Library, the Board of Trustees too, and all the staff here are wonderful, very friendly. So thank you very much. On to the celebration. Thank you.
Thank you.
This guy basically is going to tell me what the rest of the painting is going to do, because whatever the sky is doing, it's basically going to control the amount of light, the way that the rest of the painting should progress. This is the same palette. I bought this palette at the art room in Chelmsford 40-something years ago, and it's the same one. I've been using this one ever since. Kind of looking at the sky and then saying, what do you want to do now? So it's just, let's see what happens.
Usually work with photographs?
I can work from photographs or from drawings, from plein air. I don't have a particular preference, though I'd much rather paint in my studio than paint outdoors.
Absolutely.
It's just, I understand that I go out and I will take photographs, do drawings on location, and bring those back and take them to the studio. But I'm okay with the brush has more than, you don't have to paint basically like this. Just, you can just let it go. Don't be afraid to just wing it. The worst thing that can happen is you fail, and then you just start over and do it again.
When you decide, okay, I'm going to go to my studio and paint, do you do any warm-up, or do you just jump right into your painting?
This is a warm-up. This is what I would do. I would just start with something like this. Just get going. And then once I'm into it, it's basically, I'm very intuitive when I paint. I have a palette. It's the same palette that I use all the time. I never move the colors around. I don't even think about, people say, well, do you do hard edges, soft edges? It's become so instinctive now that after 40 years, I just do what I do. Right, wrong, other painters will do it completely different and still be 100% correct. There's so many ways that you can attack a painting or create something. You just find what you want to say about it, about a landscape, about art, or whatever you feel that day. You don't feel good, you're probably going to paint something that's not a happy painting. When you're feeling great, then everything is light and airy, and everything is right with the world. I don't listen to any politics because I'm afraid of what would happen if I even tried to paint.
Black on the paper.
Yeah.
Don, what are you using to make that green? I think you have your colors.
I use an olive green and ultramarine, and then what I do is I also have a strange candy apple green that I use for if I were to paint in, let's say, spring instead. This would probably be an oil painting, but I'll show you what I mean by that green. I'll use the light green with lemon yellow, and that basically what could have been a winter scene can be something in spring now, just by adding that, and then I'll just come back and add other things in here. But any any blues, any yellows, you can make green. And you can make greens that are extremely dark.
Don, I noticed that you don't blot anything.
Sometimes. If I want to lighten this, you can just pull back like that. Because you can always go back. This is all still pretty wet, so that when you go back, you can add, if you want to just put some texture and you can take a razor blade, you could scrape. There's a number of little options, but I learned all those things and then I basically forget about them and almost never use them. I won't spatter because I'll get it all over Tom.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm sure.
I'll take a shower.
But I do, when I paint in the studio, I take the paintings outside in the yard and I actually put them down on the ground, cover the skies and where I don't want it, and then I would spatter, if I feel I need that particular effect. But there's like I said, it's become to the point of when you've done hundreds and hundreds, and I've done hundreds and hundreds of paintings, I don't worry about it. I just go by, I get an idea and just go with it. If it works, great. If it doesn't, it's not the end of the world.
Did you say what paper you're using, Don?
This is, I always use arches. It's either 140-pound cold press arches or it's the 300-pound. But either one is fine. I
It's
like
very
both of those.
expensive, isn't it? Arches? At
Yeah.
least the prices I saw.
It's not cheap. But then again,
It's all cotton, though, is it? Maybe.
it's
100%
a handmade
Yeah.
French
good paper,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's excellent. Fabriano also makes a wonderful paper.
Yeah, that's what I use. It's a little bit cheaper.
It's whatever you get used to. If it works for you, that's fine. Use that.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to. The thing about artist grade paper or paints is you tend to not have to fight with it. If you buy student grade things, they're harder to work with. It's just
Yes.
not impossible, but it's just a little more difficult.
Yes, yeah.
Trees are basically eye stoppers. So you will just bounce from one to another.